When you saw this game on the schedule, get well game was not necessarily the first words that popped into my mind. This was probably not the game that we wanted to have to deal with, or the team we wanted to have to deal with at this particular moment in time. But we don't make the schedule; we just play who they tell us to play. Where have I heard that before? Welcome back to Clear the Ice here on the Edge of Philly Sports with your boy Matty B. And I'm shocked. I'm bedazzled. I'm bedazed. The Flyers tonight in a outstanding effort tonight. Outstanding. I mean, I really cannot underestimate the word outstanding here. Handle their business against the Colorado Avalanche 5-3 in a complete game, a 58-minute complete game. Now, there was some drama there at the end, the last 2 minutes or whatnot, but for the first 58 minutes of this game, this was as good as the hockey game that I've seen the Flyers play in a long time. It is definitely the best game I've seen them play all season. And they they took the play. They skated with the Avs. They took the play to the Avs. They were aggressive. They took too many stupid penalties again. They got down again, but they once again fought back and somehow found 5 goals out of this lineup, and were able to handle their business tonight, 5-3, defeating the Colorado Avalanche, and now moving to that elusive ninth victory of the season. And yeah, I mean, I'm just sort of kind of catching my breath about all this thing right now, and I'm still just trying to wrap my head around what I saw. Let's, if you would have tuned in to John Tortorella's post game, definitely it seemed like he was a little relieved. Definitely felt that from his tone of voice. Just relief that he got a decent game from his boys. And yeah, that's exactly what they got. They had a decent game. They had a great game. 5-3, final score. A lot to unpack in this one. So let's head right over to the game as we usually do here on the show. The Flyers were down early in this thing, 1-0. Matter of fact, at the 3:50 mark, Alex Newhook would get the Avalanche on the board with the power play goal. And at that point of the game, I was just like, that it was a great start. But once again, we don't have enough horses in the barn. So we give up a bad goal there to make it 1-0, or just a bad goal. Like, we give a bad penalty, and all that work seems to go down the tubes. 1-0. Well, then the Flyers would get right back in this thing at the 7:29 mark. Travis Sanheim, and kind of surprised me, but it was a bang-bang goal, a great play, great attack. Sanheim once again being part of that offensive rush that he's known for as the type of defense style that he plays. Flyers would tie it up at 1-1. And then the Flyers would actually add another one heading into the intermission at the 18:05 mark. Finally, the Flyers are the team adding those late goals at the end of periods. They've been snake bitten so many times this season by those goals, but they add them. They get themselves a late first period goal. Tanner Laczynski, his second. Flyers head into the intermission up 2-1. And then in the third period, the only goal scored was at the 3:59 mark by Tony DeLangelo on the power play, folks. It's right, a power play sighting for the Flyers tonight. Actually, there's 2 of them. It was his 4th goal of the year. Flyers were up 3-1 at this point, heading into the third period, and feeling good, weren't you? I know I was. I thought the Flyers at that point were to get at the very least bit a tie or a shootout loss, but up 3-1 heading into the third period. And the third period was chippy for the first half, and then things kind of opened up at around that midpoint of the period. Owen Tippett would get the Flyers that 4-1 cushion with his 7th goal on the power play, folks. The second power play goal of the night for the Flyers. I thought Bigfoot was going to walk across the ice at one point. When you start seeing 2 power play goals from this team, you think that the world is ending. But then we get to the last 2 minutes, and this has been a hairy situation for the Flyers all season long. The last 2 minutes before periods and the last 2 minutes before the end of a game. And it would rear its ugly head yet again tonight. The Flyers would give up a goal to Ratnin at the 17:47 mark. And then within about 2 minutes later, or a minute and a half later, or not even a minute later, Alex Newhook would get his 2nd of the game, his 6th of the year, 4-3. And then I don't know about you guys, but I was starting to feel like, first of all, I was like, there's no way they can play this good of a game, have a 4-1 lead with 2 minutes remaining, and then blow a 4-1 lead in 2 minutes and get this thing sent to overtime. But then I kind of paused and said, yes, they could, because this is the Flyers, and this is the 2022-2023 Flyers. Anything is definitely possible. But about 40 seconds later, Travis Konechny would silence all that as he would add an empty netter, his 10th of the year. 5-3 Flyers. 5-3 with the win. As I mentioned, on the season now, the Flyers will move now to I think it's 9-12 on the year, as they get a huge win here. A huge win. Yeah, 9-12 on the season. John Tortorella now through 26 games, 9-12-5 on the season through 26 games. A huge victory for this young team as they're trying to just get anything they can get their hands on, some hope, just something. And tonight went a long way with that, I think. Let's go deeper inside the numbers. On the shot total tonight, Flyers once again handled their business on the shot side, out shooting the Avalanche tonight, 34-32. I've mentioned that this has been a huge stat on this show lately. Flyers have really turned the corner on that in that department. They've really done a lot better job in giving up or holding the shots down and getting a lot more shots on net. For the season now, the Flyers are at 753 to 827 against that they've given up. So that is definitely a positive as they outshoot the Avalanche. And then that power play, 2 for 3 on the night. 2 for 3 on the night. Has Christmas come early, folks? 2 for 3 on the night. Flyers now are 13 for 80 on the season, at about a 16% efficiency. And yeah, wow. The sky was falling tonight, man. They did give up 1 power play goal, but the Avalanche also had 5 power play opportunities. So you got to kind of take the positives out of that. They only gave up 1 goal and they were down short. They were short 5 times. So definitely something to grasp hold there. As I mentioned, though, too many penalties tonight. Once again, in an area that this team has got to clean up. It goes a long way in that perfect game scenario that they have to play every single night. Your stars for the evening, Carter Hart. After that shaky goal there in the beginning of the game, goes pretty much the entire time until he gives up those 2 goals at the end. Now, that third goal to make it 4-3, I don't understand how 2 Flyers can be standing in between an Avalanche player and let him shoot. I really don't understand that. You don't play defense like that. I can't understand the nuance there when you have 2 defenders camped out in front of your net, but then you let the opposing player creep in behind those 2 players and just have an open shot in the slot. Nothing much Carter Hart can do there. He did have 29 saves on the night for a .906 save percentage. He gets your first star honors. Travis Sanheim with a goal and assist. He is your second star. And Tony DeLangelo with 1 goal. He is your third star. It has been a hot minute since I've talked about the 3 stars of the night being all Flyers. So this guy goes in a long way of getting this thing kind of stabilizing some things. Delco Live, Matty B. Hey, what's up, Delco Live? How are you tonight? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that. So the Flyers victorious tonight, 5-3, as they now will continue on, or I should say, end up this homestand on Wednesday night against the Washington Capitals before heading out on their southwestern trip. Stops to Vegas, Arizona, and Colorado next week, as they will. As things ain't going to get much easier for this team as they got to move on and play some of these other teams in the West now that they don't typically see. But definitely tonight is something you can build some hope on. A lot of players or a lot of people out there are thinking this is the one thing they didn't want to see happen. It ruins the narrative. It ruins our Connor Bednar sweepstakes opportunity. Nah, I'm not going to go there. A win is a win. Flyers need these things any way they can get. It's got to build some confidence with this team. You got Cam Atkinson, who's chomping at the bit to come back into this lineup. So maybe better days are ahead. 5 goals tonight. That's something you definitely got to be very happy about. 5 goals for the Flyers in the winning way. 5-3 tonight, as I mentioned, with the victory. Not to mention the aforementioned there with Connor Bednar. For those of you who are wondering, our nightly check-in on Connor. 28 games played, 27 goals, 37 assists, 64 points, 36 penalty minutes, and a gaudy plus 14 as he continues to have his stock rise as being that number 1 overall pick this coming summer. So 5-3 Flyers. How you feeling? Was this something you wanted? I know that a lot of people don't want the Flyers to win. I don't know where I come out on that coin, but it was great to see the type of energy that the Flyers were generating down there at a very empty Wells Fargo. And uh, you got to have games like this. You got to have games like this where you can pull some hope from. By no means do I think that this is the springboard to the Stanley Cup Finals, but this is a game that the Flyers needed to have, if not just for their own internal psyche, that they can skate with the defending champs, that they can shoot with the defending champs, and then they can outscore the defending champs. So this game goes a long way in the overall long-term development of this young team. And I'm proud of them. And they battled their butts off tonight. And you know who else battles their butts off for you on a nightly basis? That's us here over EOP. Check out the lineup this week. It's Monday. Typically, I don't come at you on a Monday because Clear the Ice, typically the Flyers don't necessarily play a lot of Monday games, but here I am on Monday. Earlier this evening, you had the Sully squad, and then you had some Sixers-Rockets post-game as well. Tomorrow, you got Kelly Greenhour talking Philly sports with Matty B. My show will be back at 9 o'clock tomorrow night, and then Chalk Talk at 9:30, and then the rest of the stuff we got coming up throughout the week, another full week here on the Edge of Philly Sports. And you know what else is a full week of action, or I should say a full month of action? That's the Dolan's December to Remember. Look at all the stuff they got coming up for you every weekend this month. Ziggy and the Moondogs got things started, and the Real Gons got things started for the Dolan's December to Remember last weekend. Be on the lookout on December 16th for the Christmas Tabernacle Choir. December 16th, the Jay Whaley and Dirty Christmas Carols. I hear it's really fun. So go ahead, if you're in the Delco area, go ahead and check that out. Remember, every Eagles games, they got $8 cheesesteaks and wing cheesesteaks and also memorabilia giveaways. That is Delco's on 24 East Sellers Ave, Ridley Park, Pennsylvania, if you didn't know that, in the heart of Delaware County, or as they call it, Delco. And of course, and here we go. We got SherryTickets.com, SherryTickets.com, our newest sponsor to the Edge of Philly Sports family. If you're looking for great prices and no hidden fees on sports, concert, and theater ticket events, head over to SherryTickets.com. Enter the promo code EOP10 to save an additional 10% on your purchases. A family-owned and operated business since 1946. That's a long time ago. So head over to SherryTickets.com and check out all the great things they got to offer. And don't forget, head over, while you're doing that, take a left over there and then head over to Philly Sports Trips. Got another one coming here, the New York trip coming up on Sunday as the Eagles get ready to battle the Giants. That is sold out, I believe. I believe the Chicago trip is open, and then the Dallas trip as well is open. So make sure you head over to PhillySportsTrips.com and check out all the things they got going on. They also have Flyers trips coming, Sixers trips, as well as some Phillies pregame or Phillies spring training. Trey Turner, baby. And then all the home tailgate action over at the Gatehouse, a.k.a. the Navy Yard, PhillySportsTrips.com. And how can I not forget, on this beautiful December evening, our man, Dave Cherry. If you got any workman's comp, motor vehicle accident, criminal law, or personal injury questions, call Dave at 610-565-0300. Tell him Clear the Ice and Matty B sent you. And he will take great care of you. So, 5-3 Flyers, outstanding victory, character win. You got to have these games. If not for the overall progression of your team, their psyche, their mental well-being, however you want to wrap it up, you got to have these games. Beautiful game tonight. Good hockey, spirited hockey, competitive hockey, and a Flyers win, the best part of that. That's going to wrap me up, folks. Please remember to come back and see us again on Wednesday night, as we will come with you. We will come right back at you after the Caps game. And don't forget, tomorrow night, talking Philly Sports with Matty B at 9:30 here on the Edge of Philly Sports. Until we talk again, let's go Flyers, and have yourselves a great night.